This is just an introduction of how emotional freedom technique came to me, and how it came about for me. In 2003, I wrote to a guy in America that was a lodge keeper, sweat lodge healer, Native American. He was an American, but he done Native American sweat lodge, and he was a lodge keeper. And I wrote to him with what I was suffering with, which was intrusive thoughts. And I wrote a letter, and I was meant to go to Washington, D.C. to get healing. I was in that much pain. I was in a very bad way in mental torment. And he was an ex-Vietnam veteran, this guy. I wrote him a letter, and he said, "Yeah, come over, Mike. I think I can help you with that." Basically, is what he said. And I think he might have done some kind of thing for me anyway. I believe that. His name was Gene, and I believe he done some kind of, you know, healing without me being there. Because would you believe it, I met another American in England, and he was an ex-Vietnam veteran, and he said to me, "Mike, why are you going to Washington? Why are you going to America?" I said, "Well, I'm going there because I've got this severe torment in my mind that I can't seem to shift it, and it's intrusive thoughts. I now know it's pure OCD, and it still does brutalize me at times now. But back then in 2003, I'd had it for I'd say about 9 years. Yeah, about 9 years solid, and it got worse and worse. And basically, this American, Gary, said to me, "Look, I can help you with that. You don't need to go to America." And I lost my ticket to America, and he done tapping therapy with me, and it had a massive healing effect. It really took a lot of this stuff away. He really did help me a lot, and I went to a group, done the EFT with a group of people. But really, Gary was really awesome. He really did help me a lot. And then I met this lady called Ulrika, who she was a tapping therapist, and we used to have a group with two EFT practitioners in the group, and there'd be another four of us or something that was there to get tapping for ourselves. And I used to go to this group, and I got benefit from it, and I used to have tapping sessions with Gary, and it brought a lot of relief, and it took the dairy off of it. Basically, it calmed a lot of it down. A heck of a lot of fear, a heck of a lot of anxiety went for quite a few years. I became a therapist. I actually liked EFT that much and believed in it. I became an emotional freedom technique practitioner, done all the training up to, I believe it's advanced level EFT, and yeah, got a lot from it. And then tapped on, I think, about 100 people I worked with. Had about 100 people I've tapped. I've tapped with a lot more than that now over the years, but since about 2004, I've been doing EFT on myself and others, and I took it into residential rehab. I've done some tapping in there, in drug rehab, worked with some people. I've worked on healing weekends. I've worked one-to-one. I've done stuff on stage with it, to an audience. I've seen very profound healing effects. Um, I've come back to it more recently, since my grandmother died 5 years ago. No, not 5 years ago, since my brother died 5 years ago, and since my grand died, just coming up 2 years. But since my brother passed away, my anxiety and my OCD, which I didn't know which it was, I've been diagnosed with it in the last year or so, it become a lot worse, and tapping doesn't seem to doesn't seem to hit the spot like it used to for some reason. I don't know why. I keep working on stuff, keep moving forward, and I work with others. I'm not totally healed. I've still got my own anxiety and condition of pure OCD, but I do help others. And if anyone asks me for help, I do what I can for them. I have considered medication many times, but I really don't like taking medication at all. But it comes to the point where it's quite overwhelming, the anxiety I feel in my mind and the torment at times. But like I say, I keep tapping, keep working on stuff, keep trying to help people. I live a rich, full life despite the fact I've got OCD, and that's my tapping history, basically, of where I come from with it, how I come about it. Like I say, I had a very good teacher called Ulrika, fantastic training, and I used to ring her up when I used to work with people. Oh, and I also worked voluntarily in a, I gave it away for free quite a lot. I generally have not made money out of it. I've had the odd pound out of it, but not much. I'm not really money orientated with healing stuff. However, if someone wants to throw me a few quid, they can, but I'm not. It's not my motive. It's really not. I want to bring tapping therapy to as many people as I can, because I believe it's a handy tool. It's not all things to all people, and it has really helped me in life. I don't know why. I think trauma is a funny old thing, and I was deeply connected to my gran. She's a very pivotal figure in my life, and I deeply miss her. And the effect of my brother passing away, also, it really affected me, and it has. That's the truth. Grief is a funny old thing, but I just try and, rather than dwell on the people that have passed, I try and help the next person, that's possibly suffering with stuff. I can go into the history of, you can look it up on Google about how EFT come about, was by Gary Craig, and of course TFT, which is thought field therapy, come around from Roger Callahan. You can look all that up online. And I would encourage anyone to learn how to do emotional freedom technique for yourself, that you can tap on your own stuff, and once you get trained, you can then tap with other people. There are processes for it. It is to do it the proper way. I wouldn't recommend people to just start tapping on people without knowing what you're doing. It can bring up stuff, and it's important to use people that know what they're doing, and that have got the right tools to help you with whatever you're struggling with, or whatever you're aiming for. Can be used in sports therapy, sports psychology. And anyone got any questions, please ask us. But yeah, okay, that's about it for me. Thank you.